And welcome to another episode of Strangers in the Alps, a movie podcast where we discuss movies in an in-depth, and sometimes we actually talk about the movie we actually watched. My name is Dan.
My name is Travis.
I'm Sam.
Caw-caw! And that's Frank. Caw-caw!
Real question though for everyone. Do you think it's been 2 years now? I don't think we're strangers anymore.
What about In the Alps?
I don't know who came up with that title. It wasn't me.
A genius.
Okay, then we're still strangers.
Okay, let's do it.
Wait, why was that?
I look at you, Travis, and I still think I'm a stranger here.
I gotta say that about you
in your own
too.
home?
In my own cabin.
Plot twist: Dan owned the cabin all along.
He just.
All right, so let's go to today's plot.
Wow, this is Travis' first
How
time.
about not plot? Let's go to today's. What's on the back of that?
VHS.
That's what I was talking
Of
about.
that CHS.
On the back of the VHS.
Because feminism.
What's
Hey.
on the back of that flash drive?
Yeah,
It's on a string right now.
It's
crazy.
This is a VHS.
This is the
tape.
movie
Oh
that
my
we
God.
all watched together in my den in our cabin in the Alps.
Yeah.
What'd I do?
It's really annoying.
What?
Okay, in the year 20, this is a VHS tape from 20.
Am I interrupting you?
In the not
Because that's not nice.
No, that's exactly how it feels, Travis.
in the not.
I mean, you'd think you would let somebody talk.
But honestly, why don't you do the
Hey.
IMDb?
Hey, you know what? You know what, Sam? There's only enough air for the three
I
of
thought
us.
he was gonna
We're voting Dan.
apologize.
We're voting Dan.
And I'm voting your ass out.
No, I apologize. Yes, for all the times I maybe interrupt, I will say I apologize. All right. In the not too distant future, Earth's dying sun spells the end for humanity. In a last-ditch effort to save the planet, a crew of 8 men and women ventures into space with a device that can revive the star. However, an accident, a grave mistake, and a distress beacon from a long-lost spaceship throw the crew and its desperate mission into a tailspin.
Nice. Good read.
Yeah. I would say that
That pretty much sums it up.
Yeah.
sums up the entire movie. I don't think we need to go any deeper than that.
No.
We can just start talking about it. Pre-thoughts. Frank, why don't you go first?
I remember watching this movie a long time ago.
Did you see it in theater? 2007?
No, I did not. No. But I thought the plot looked interesting, so I found my ways to the film, and I watched it.
I will go next. I had never heard of this movie.
Most people have.
I mean, on any level.
Most people have.
Okay, Travis.
I looked it up after I saw it. I saw it cost a certain amount and made less than that. So I'm saying it wasn't very successful. Go ahead.
I think it was a little bit of a disaster. 40 million budget. I think it made.
I think it's 43
28.
million, made 28, something like that. It was. But anyway, I'd never heard of it. I had no idea what it was about, and so I didn't read about it before I saw it. But I figured out very quickly watching it that it was in outer space.
Can I go next?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah,
Same thing that Dan said.
Great.
Okay.
Underline Dan. Highlight Dan.
Wayne Gretzky, Michael Scott.
Yeah.
I want to say, I think Frank told me about this movie back in 2009, I think, or maybe he.
Been a while.
Or maybe
It's been a
we had
while.
talked about it and he told me he had seen it and he liked it. But I
Yes.
actually had a couple failed attempts at watching.
Mm-hmm.
All
So
right, well,
this
take your
movie-
time and tell this story.
Because I had a PlayStation 3 at the time.
Tell me
and
more.
PlayStation 3 was big because it had like a Blu-ray player on it. So I was like, oh yeah, cool. So I think I had rented the Blu-ray, or maybe Frank let me borrow the I don't remember. All I know is I had it.
What year was this?
2010.
Okay.
But it was weird. I was watching them, and like I said, like you two, I had never heard of this movie before. I knew nothing about it. I just knew the name. So I put the movie on, and it's starting, and like over the opening logos, I hear people talking. I'm like, oh, okay, this is kind of cool. Maybe it's like a space log or something, or like maybe people talking. And then it like showed them in the ship, and they were like going around. I was like, okay, and there was like a little on the corner of the screen. It looked like there was like a little video log going, and there's people talking. I'm like, okay, cool, but I can't.
Was this the commentary
And I was like,
version?
yeah, and I was like, I can't really hear the movie. But then I was like, well, I don't think it's the commentary because you got to turn it on. And then it like went to like cast and crew. I was like, okay, hold on. So then I went to like the main menu and I kept hitting it off. And then I kept starting the movie. We were playing it. This was going on for a while. And then I got really annoyed. I was like, why is this happening? And then I like was like, let me keep trying, updating the system, keep going. Apparently there was in 2010, like when Avatar came out, there was like in 3D was the big thing. PlayStation updated their Blu-ray player to be a 3D Blu-ray player, but for whatever reason, Sunshine on Blu-ray is forever glitched from this update, where apparently there was a picture-in-picture commentary that you can never turn off on the movie. I don't know what the reasoning was.
Wow.
So I ended up, I think I was at like Ralph's like a couple years later, and like they had the random bin of movies, and I think I bought the DVD for like $5.
Wow,
And then you watched it?
And then yeah, on DVD.
Or did you ever
Damn it.
watch it?
I did, but this, I did end up watching it, and
Okay.
that's my story.
And you're sticking to it.
So when I texted you last night and said, have you seen this movie? This is why you wouldn't answer my question?
Yeah, because I didn't want you to say, oh, I heard this story.
It's a
already. Not worth
complicated
it.
question, Dan.
All you had to do is say yes or no.
Well, if you paid
Who are
attention,
you talking
if
to?
If you said yes, I have a story. No. I mean, what? Why were you holding back the...
because during last week's podcast, I shared a brief snippet of that story. So if you were paying attention,
You said this yourself. He asks us every single day what movie we're watching.
and I somehow forgot.
Yeah,
I
bitch.
told to Dan. I was like, Dan was like, "Are we podcasting this week?" Is normally we question.
I write it down in my notes now on my phone because I can't remember.
I feel like what we should do is we should change our chat group name to the movie we're watching.
Or you know what we should
Absolutely.
do? You know what we should do? If one week like Dan picks a movie and we don't like it, we'll trick him. We'd be like, "What's the movie?" I'll be like, "I didn't like it. Oh, it was this other one. It was this other
Gaslight
one."
him.
I'm sorry, can we start at the top when Dan picks the movie?
You picked the movie.
That could be like the
5
name of a
years ago.
podcast. Like it would literally be the name of our podcast. Dan picked the movie.
That'd be funny.
Be
It was-
one episode.
Well, at least people would know what the podcast is about by the name.
Yeah.
No, Dan, you picked Christmas Vacation.
That's it.
5 years ago.
Everyone should go. Everyone should go
Eons
listen.
ago.
Eons
It's a
ago.
funny episode.
Ages.
Okay, so we've all done our pre-thoughts.
Yep.
Somewhat.
Very
I don't
exciting.
think Travis finished his pre-thoughts. Do
I'm
you want to
done.
continue?
I think he did.
Start
done.
from the beginning.
I don't think it was. I
He
don't think your mic was
He
working.
did not present it as pre-thoughts. He just
No.
literally told a story about how he saw the movie.
Post thoughts.
Because I told you I never heard about it. I'd maybe
I'd never heard
Well,
of
just
it.
think
if
you
you
gotta do
don't
it again.
remember, just rewind and.
I'd never
listen.
heard of it. Was really surprised by the number of people that I knew
When
in
I-
the cast that were like really young.
When I
Yeah.
I will tell you this. I hadn't seen the movie. Since,
I'd forgotten about Benedict Wong.
Isn't that
Same.
crazy?
I hadn't seen the movie since maybe 2012. So I was watching and I was like, I knew about Cillian Murphy,
Obviously.
and
I didn't.
and
I didn't
I'm
either.
saying when I saw the
Captain
movie.
America?
Yeah,
Freaking Steve Rogers
yeah,
was in
I
the
was
movie?
like, that's the point. When I rewatched it for this one, because I hadn't seen it since like 2012, I was like, Chris Evans is in this, and then
Yes, yes.
he gets frozen at the end,
Aw.
like Captain America.
Aw.
Wah,
This is
wah.
the prequel. The only
No.
person that I didn't recognize was the guy who played Harvey, the comms officer that becomes
Yeah.
captain of the
Who is he?
You're a comms officer on a
He's,
ship that
he's
doesn't
the
have
one
comms.
that becomes an icicle.
No. You're saying you don't recognize him.
Oh, his name is Troy Garrity. I don't recognize him from anything else though.
Oh,
But
I see. I get what you
think
mean. I get what you mean.
What they did was I mean, a lot of them just happened to be big actors, but I think it was kind of intentional from Danny Boyle. A lot of them to kind of get no big stars.
Well,
I
there
mean,
were
other
no
than
stars
Cillian
in this movie.
Yeah.
But it's funny though, Frank. You made the joke that this is the prequel to Captain America,
Yes.
but I think it's also like a sequel to Oppenheimer.
He loves his bombs.
Yeah,
Yes, he
Cillian
does.
Murphy is another. So that's what I was thinking. I was like, this one is called Oppenheimer, Vicarus 2.
Sam, could you eye roll a little
When did
louder?
it-
I
when
didn't
did-
hear it.
When did Captain America come out?
2011.
Okay,
Yeah.
so this is like 4 years earlier. Okay.
Yeah.
But also,
Yeah.
the wigs are atrocious.
There's wigs.
Whose wig?
Whose wig?
In particular?
Evans.
That was a wig. Oh,
Evans,
I just thought. Okay, the reason I
But
didn't.
does
think
Evans not have hair?
Yeah, because remember, it buzz cut.
Yeah, he gets
He's the
his
only one who
haircut.
got a haircut.
The wig at the beginning.
I thought they.
it was
I thought maybe
Right?
they filmed it in sequential order, because because they said
Are you
to get a
being serious?
haircut. No,
She's
I
gonna
thought maybe
fuck
they
you up,
filmed
right?
that scene first. That was like 2 scenes with him with long hair. Like
That's why it looked so
It's
bad.
because long hair don't care.
But then also,
I thought
like,
maybe they
Cillian
just-
Murphy couldn't cut off his wigs. Like, why?
Why?
Wait, was this before or after 28?
this was before, after.
After.
one.
Yes,
This was
it,
after.
it was after. Same director.
Yes,
Right.
and writer.
Don't tell
Oh,
me.
written by
Yeah.
Alex Garland.
Woodwood.
Alex Harlan.
So all of you
Hey,
should listen to our
Roger
episode.
Garland.
If anyone hasn't already, listen to our episode on Annihilation. It's a long one. I remember that episode being
That's
like
what she
2.5 hours.
Yeah, and if you haven't listened to our 28 Days Later episode, it's because it's not done yet. But
we never did 28 Days.
I know,
don't
but it
even
will
know that
be at
movie.
some point.
I mean, I know the movie, but
I'm saying we'll cover it at
We
some
should
point.
do it for when 28 years later comes out.
No.
Okay, that would have been a good
really,
something on the something
No,
on
That's
this.
gonna
thank
be a
you.
movie
Some-
28 years
Yeah,
later.
something on
Yes.
this podcast needs
Can
to
we
make
not
sense.
do that? Let's just not.
Let's do
touch
28
either
days.
one. Just not
28
do
days is good, but you know what we should?
I'll be the judge of
No,
that.
we should have just called the movie 28 Days. So then Dan watches the movie with Sandra Bullock.
Sam, you say you don't like science fiction.
No, I think
Yeah.
I think I've actually said that.
No, I've
Yeah, but
made
I've-
it quite known.
Yeah, I feel like you're okay with good science fiction. We haven't really covered much on this podcast, but
But I mean, I feel
Frank,
like
I want to say I'm good with any good movie. Period. I don't
Yeah.
care what the genre
But
is.
no,
It's good.
Yeah.
I'm
you
happy.
liked
you're fine.
Annihilation, no?
yeah.
If I remember correctly, you were fine
Was that
with
the
it.
one where they go out to
Yeah,
the?
Natalie Portman.
I liked it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's same,
Sam's the
same
one
writer.
that's Sam's
Did
the
you
one
like
that's
it?
bigoted
Did you like it?
against sci-fi.
Did you
against-
not like Did you not like Annihilation?
I liked it the first time. Second time around, I'm like, I'm
Oh, okay.
whatever about
I've
it.
only seen it once,
But
so
then
to be
also,
fair, that would be the same.
What he was saying, I don't like sci-fi in general, so
Yeah.
I am. If we're not connecting sci-fi to space, I mean, there's science fiction that's not in space.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Gravity.
I'm not a big fan of space movies.
Oh.
We're out in space. I'm not gonna say it's a turnoff, but it's one of my least places to have a movie set. Honestly,
Yeah.
least favorite
What
places.
I will,
No, Galaxy Quest I loved. That
I
movie
will
was
say,
so
you
much
know what?
fun.
Other than the Alien franchise, I
Yeah.
think the kind of trope that I'm getting, which was Alien kind of started it, that I'm getting a little tired of is just like, oh, everyone, look, we're space truckers.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Or
We're
we're-
just
or
blue
we're-
collar space
Yeah.
We're
truckers.
trapped out here.
Yeah,
Oh, there's
but
there's a signal. We need to go save something.
But-
No, you don't. Did you all not see Alien?
What I will say though, what I did like about this one, while this one, obviously, like, at its, no pun intended, at its core, is like a sci-fi film. I think.
I think you're jumping way
Well,
ahead here.
no, I'm not. I'm saying what I liked. I'm not. What I liked about it a little more is it's like the way it's presented. It's like, okay, well, like you have all your scientists and all your crew, and every situation is like, okay, well, what are we gonna do? How are we gonna solve this? And that can fit in whether it's a sci-fi movie and any movie. I just liked how it was, the way it was presented. Because I was thinking, I was like, well, what would I do? You know, it's the way it's presented.
I don't disagree with that.
And
I hear what
and
you're
I
saying.
However.
really liked.
I got
those
a big however coming.
I really liked those aspects of the film because you know, you even have it where, like, you know, at the beginning, towards the beginning when Trey, he forgets to, like,
Who's Trey?
he's the guy that forgets to adjust the
Oh,
Benedict
Wong.
Wong.
yeah,
Poor guy.
and then with
I
him
know.
where he's like actually crying, and for me, and it's like everyone's like blaming him for the mission and everything, but then a part of me is thinking, I'm like, well, everything they say about this movie is like to try to survive is like, oh well, theoretically that should work. But then it's like, well, if they never altered the course, it's like, well, would everything really would have aligned? Would they?
What is happening?
Well, that brings up a huge point of where I really get annoyed with these kind of movies.
Yes.
They come up with a bunch of mumbo-jumbo dialogue and scientific shit that I have to believe and accept with no basis of reality.
Well, but here's
Well, we have to do this now, and this is blah, 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 blah,
Well,
blah,
no,
blah,
no.
blah. And it's such bullshit.
Dan, I'm going to
It's not
disagree.
based
'cause-
in-
no.
No, you're not. You can
Because
disagree all you want,
no,
but
I
I'm right
think-
about what I'm
no,
saying.
I'm thinking because if I were to take another
It's got an actual phrase. It's called technobabble.
Thank you.
Jargon?
Technobabble.
However, nothing stood out to me in this movie as technobabble.
Yes.
It's usually
Really?
Yeah, it's usually an issue of like smaller productions, TV shows, like crime dramas usually do a lot of that shit. Now I have to
I think they do a lot in
Go
space
back.
movies.
They do a lot in space
But-
movies,
Do-do.
especially Star Trek.
Well,
How
Absolutely.
however,
But I like that.
there is a difference between technobabble and like theoretical
Yes.
science and technology.
Okay, I'll
and I'm
accept
going to
that.
say this.
I'll
I'm going to
accept
say
that.
compared to, okay, I'm going to compare these two movies where you have Sunshine, right, where they're like the situations they're put in versus Interstellar, where it's like, oh, if we go in this planet or we make this, we'll actually, because of the gravitational, it'll actually be like 5 minutes over here, but it's like 17 years over. And that's where I kind of a little bit, I'm like, okay, like, I really got to focus. And like I said, but I feel like with this movie, with Sunshine, it's like, it just, at the end, is survival. It's like, you know, you're all trapped in the spaceship. It's like, how are we going to survive?
No. That part's fine. Let me ask you a question, just because I may have missed this point since
Yes.
you brought this up. Just to clarify, was it the coordinates that they got off, that the guy got off, that screwed everything up?
No.
What was it that he screwed up?
Okay, what he did was so basically, they had to alter the course because they had to slingshot around. But the thing
get
is,
to the Icarus
to get
1.
to the Icarus 1. But
No,
the
no.
thing, no,
That
I'm
was
explaining.
before that,
I'm
wasn't it?
explaining.
Yeah, yeah.
But I have to explain this part. So they had to swing
I'm
shot
gonna pee.
around. But the thing is
You won't miss anything.
the computer of Icarus it won't change its coursing because it has to stay on the mission, right? So what they had to do was when they went around, the guy Trey had to be like, okay, well,
Manually.
we manually figure everything out, all the equations. So he was like, okay, do we
he
have the
screwed
fuel?
those up.
So no, he got all of that right. But the thing is, he focused so much on getting the fuel and the trajectory that he forgot to realize, hey, since we're like near the sun, the ship is also going to move 1 degree. So we have to.
Okay, how is it easy for you to get all that? And I watched going, what the hell am I watching?
Because you're dumb as fuck.
I don't think so.
I'm just kidding. No.
How do you seriously know all that detail? And I
Because-
watched going, what the fuck
because
did
no,
I just see?
that was the big
It's
scene.
because it's a very like frantic scene the way he's trying to explain how he fucked up. He does explain it, and pretty plainly he explains that he forgot to compensate for the new angle that the
Right.
ship was going towards. But I think because he's saying it at such a like frantic and like
Chris
frustrated
Chris
pace.
Evans says it too, but I think, but I can get because it's so frantic, and then I think it's also kind of like foreshadowed a little bit, like in the beginning when he's looking at the sun, and it's like, okay, well, this is at 2% and this is at 3%, so it's kind of showing any little adjustment. But Dan, I've also seen this movie more than once.
Yeah, Dan.
I don't know if I remembered that.
Even Joni knows that.
I want to make me feel better, but I honestly, and I guess I'm confessing my own ignorance, a lot of that stuff went right by me.
Yeah.
And all I did was go, I don't know what's going on.
Well,
What's going on? What is going on? I mean, I understood they screwed up.
Yeah, you just
I
didn't
understood
understand.
that there was an issue. But as far as the rest of it, I don't know.
The details of it.
I'm gonna bring this.
Maybe
So
I
just
should
like
have been texting. while
just
it's
like
happening.
Akira, you're not at that level of intelligence to.
That's
No,
it.
but I'm gonna say this now. You know, I will say the difference. So I think it's because remember I told you like the first time I watched the movie, I just had all those issues and I was getting like really annoyed. So then when I finally watched it, I think my expectations were really high.
lowered?
No, they
Oh,
were really high. So
okay.
I don't know why. So going into this movie, going into it the second time, I don't know why. I thought that every major disaster and twist and plot point in the movie was, I got bad news. One of us is going to have to risk our lives.
Well, this
But
movie
then
was
I
full of those I got bad news
no,
scenes.
But I thought that happened at least 5 or 6 times. But this one, it was really, there was only like 2 scenes where it's like, one of us isn't going to make it. Like, we got to like, kind of, someone has to be left
No,
behind.
they kept redoing the number.
No, but I'm talking. That was the oxygen. I'm saying, like, remember, like when they
Sacrificing
had
themselves.
sacrificing themselves. Like, remember the guy when they were
Yeah.
on the ship?
Yes.
I don't know why. I thought that was like every other scene.
But it does feel that way in this movie because every other scene they are now we have a new thing we have to eliminate so we survive.
But I feel like at the same time, this is different because like in any other movie where you have to sacrifice, they're like, no, don't do it. We'll find a way to like save all of us. And this one's like, I'll go.
Well, and that's what
I know. All right, I'm out.
Yeah, fuck it, I'll go.
And that's where it's
Because
different.
you know why? Because they weren't going to make it back.
Yeah, it
So
was a suicide
regardless of
mission.
this, and that to me is such a
Regardless.
huge freaking flaw in this storyline. They're not getting back.
It's
So
right.
Who
It's like
cares? Take me now.
it's
I'm
like
gonna
die now
anyway.
or die later.
Well, and that's what I liked about
Just
this one too.
die.
It's like the
So
only
Just
everything we
die.
didn't like, he liked.
no,
about
I'm
it.
saying was
That's such a good plot point.
I liked that it was all set because it's like everyone's like, oh, someone has to. He can't die. We can't save him. It's like, well, actually, it's like he dies
Yeah,
or we all die.
Right.
And I like that everything is just presented like it's not as much the emotion. It's all presented through like facts.
Didn't you find it rather convenient that he just killed himself? So it really took it off the hook of Chris Evans
Oh, Trey?
completely.
Oh yeah,
I found that really weak, honestly.
yeah. Well, I was thinking,
Wow.
well, did he
I
kill
really
him?
did because who cares? They're all going to die anyway. I mean,
I think
again,
at
I keep
that
going back
point-
to that point of they're not getting. They already have established they're not getting back. So
Yeah.
the only thing left is to accomplish the mission. That and which is I get is important, but they're not getting back home.
they're breaking the cycle though, because like Travis said, there's so many of those like sacrifices. Like, okay, you just need something to pull at your heartstrings. So
But-
might as well kill the Asian guy.
And they do bring.
Oh, well.
No, but Dan, they do bring
there
that
were
up.
so many on
They-
that ship. I got so confused.
They
but
do bring it up though, because remember the guy's like, "Oh,
Sam's
well, why-"
Asian, by
He's
the
like-
way.
He's like,
Hang on a second. Oh, you're right.
he's like, "Well, why do I gotta die now?" He's like, "Oh, because you're a comms you're in charge of comms with a shipment of comms." But I think it's
You're
like
not that important.
I think it's like they all kind of accept their fate. They're not
Bitch.
gonna make it back, but it's like, hey, well, like at this point in time, like who do we need
right
to
now.
proceed further?
But it's said in the beginning, right, that it's like a suicide mission, if I'm not
Well,
mistaken.
and that,
Did it?
Right? Because that's the feeling I
They
got.
said-
Because they're like, oh, we got to go to the sun to
When did they say
reignite it.
that?
No, not like
But you-
verbatim
No, I know
saying
too.
so, but,
But I
I
don't
feel
remember
like they
either.
implied it.
and
to
They're
me.
basically saying it's a long shot.
well, and,
Yeah.
Right.
and that's what I liked about it too, because like
It
the
was
whole
when Jesse
thing.
Eisenberg walked through. I went, whoa. Oh, he's still looking for his way out of
His
that
home.
neighborhood.
It was the whole. That's what I liked about the whole thing with Trey. Was like, he was like, oh, I
Who's
ruined.
Trey?
He's the guy who messed.
Wong,
The guy who messed
the
up.
Asian dude.
The guy who messed up the paneling.
Is he the one
They
that
put on suicide
kills
watch.
himself?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, did he? I thought the other guy killed him.
No. Chris
no,
Evans
he slit
did not
his
kill
wrists.
him.
He
No,
was going to go
I
kill
know.
him.
I was joking. I said I thought the guy at the end.
I will. I swear to God.
But
I have a question about that.
I am.
So
When we get to that, I want to talk about
Sam,
that.
so the thing I'm
Because
saying
I was
is-
so confused.
I
Yeah,
agree.
repeat everything you said. I missed.
I agree with you, Sam, where you said where it's the long shot, because like I said, Trey's like blaming himself for
Yeah.
everything, but at the same time, it's like I kind of feel like when Cillian Murphy and everyone he's explaining what has to happen and everyone, it's such a long shot, and then that's why they go to the Icarus in the first place, because it's like, hey, like everything we're saying is theoretical. Like, what if this one bomb at the end really doesn't work? We're all screwed. So it's like, that's what I always feel. It's like, it's like, well, even if they had it, because Chris Evans is like, oh, this all started because we diverted the mission, which is probably true, but at the same time, it's like, well, we don't know that
I
they
like how
really
you talk
would
about
have
this
made
movie
it.
like it was fact. Let's talk about the getting from Icarus back to the other ship. Let's not let that one go by us.
Getting one back
From
to
the
two?
Icarus to Icarus
When
1
they
to
had
2.
When they had to do
Open
the
up-
hatch.
open the hatch
oh.
and get. Let's just
Then
can,
wrap each
can
other.
Can we sort of rap about that for a few minutes?
Rap?
Yeah, let's- No, rap. R-A-P. Can we
No,
talk
I
about
thought
that for a
WRP
second?
because they had to wrap themselves
Can we talk
up.
about that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Well,
Talk.
no, I want you to because you're so like.
I'm saying yes.
you love
go.
all the
Talk
details
about it.
and
Talk
clarity
about it.
of this
Turn
movie.
that into a fact.
Yeah, turn that one into a fact.
I'm gonna
274 degrees below zero.
275.
I'm gonna
Look.
wrap myself in some aluminum foil
Okay,
here.
however, Chris Evans did
However.
lose his thumb.
And the one guy
Oh.
shattered instant. Like
What
the
a
guy.
beautiful thumb.
Yeah,
So that is a negative
right.
274.
So Dan, let me tell you
Because
something.
that's so
Dan,
obviously
Let me tell you this
realistic.
then. So if you were in that situation,
What part?
if you were in the
Not a question
situation,
whether I do it or
what-
not. The question of the execution and delivery of it. the probability was insane.
Of surviving
the
that?
entire concept was insane. If this was a James Bond movie, sure, whatever, let's go with it. If this is a Star Wars movie, sure, whatever.
You know
I'm
what?
in such fantasy land
I'm gonna
right now.
Google it right now. How long can you
I'm gonna tell you this.
survive
I feel like
in the vacuum?
It's not even about being in the cold. It's going from here to here. It's crossing. If you did not for a second go, okay, that's a bit of a stretch. You actually sat there going, oh, I'm in.
I mean,
I'm buying this. I'm buying this concept.
I feel like in a space movie alone with a sci-fi film set in space, you have to have somewhat of that
Leeway?
suspension of
So-
disbelief. Because I
We have
feel
to have
like
in any movie
no,
you watch.
because
Dan,
that's what I'm saying. So
Do you want me to tell you how much of a stupid bitch you are?
I do.
Okay, so even without this information,
And there's no air out there, by the way.
well, that's what he
The
tells
most
them to close your
unbelievable
eyes.
thing is the fact that they were able to line it up correctly, because that's a really these are big ships, so to be able to line it up just right so that you can get two people through.
Docking.
I saw Interstellar.
Yum.
Yeah, I saw Interstellar.
But here you go, Dan. Here's a little bit of tidbits.
I'm listening.
In about 15 seconds, you lose consciousness due to a lack of oxygen to the brain. Death from asphyxiation within 90 seconds. Freezing solid within 12 to 26 hours. So that was actually the most
Inaccurate.
part. However, that would still happen,
Yeah.
and you would still crack.
12 hours before
12
you would
hours.
freeze? Okay.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
but
Mr.
yeah,
Scientist.
without
no gravity.
without
We'll
a
start
space
there.
suit,
No gravity.
it's kind of hard.
Yeah.
No spacesuit. Wrapped in foil. Pretty sure it was aluminum foil.
It was.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow, interesting. So the moisture on your tongue and eyes will boil.
Ew.
Your body will expand to twice its normal size.
Ooh.
I would
You'll
have liked
get
to
a
have seen that.
sunburn from unfiltered
Total
cosmic
Recall.
radiation.
Cosmic.
And you'll
Cosmic
likely get
brownies.
decompression sickness. If you're rescued and brought back to a pressurized environment,
Might as
you
well
might
die.
be resuscitated.
Just die.
Okay, you know who I think then did that movie? Like, the movie is ridiculous, but who probably did it the most accurate then was Event Horizon.
Shut up.
When he got launched across and then he had to be in, like, the stasis for the rest of the
oh
movie.
yeah.
I don't even remember that.
Yeah, it says you can survive for about a total of 30 seconds before shit gets
Major-
real.
Before your organs start
So
exploding.
yeah, Dan,
Mr.
you're
Scientist.
Mr. Scientist, poopy butts.
You're right.
I don't know.
You're
Poopy
right.
pants.
So if I'm ever in that situation, I'll take my chances.
Dan in space.
So I don't know where we are in the story. But
We're not- we're
Travis
just
is
talking
about-
defending the movie, so continue.
Clearly.
No, we're done. We're done with that. He just proved you wrong. So.
But
I
aside
don't think he proved me
I know,
wrong.
I'm just kidding.
the inaccuracies of whatever this is aside, you can admit though that the cinematography is like beautiful.
I thought the cinematography was great. I also thought the intensity was really cool. I thought
Of the
just
sun?
just the general kind of drama of it, and just the sense of just doom that was constantly looming over this story. I mean, that kept me completely involved, regardless of what I believed. Regardless of what I believed or didn't believe as I was watching it, I was still. I mean, you know, I got the drama and the
Drama.
the looming doom of it all.
Speaking of the cinematography.
Save the drama for your mom.
Speaking of the cinematography, I will admit, at times in the movie, especially what happens in the third act of the movie, I'm watching this movie. I'm like, wow, this is an artsy Event Horizon.
You and that goddamn movie.
Am I wrong?
I mean,
Well, I feel like we've been
No.
on a little bit of a roll. I think these last few movies have all been very artsy and very art house kind
Yeah.
of versions
Black
of.
Swan is an art house film.
Black Swan is absolutely an
If
art
you
house
can peel
film.
back the layers of Black Swan, then like
I'd-
you've
I
made
mean,
it.
can't figure
this
it
was
out.
the least of the art house
Yeah.
film feeling, but they've all been a bit, you know,
artsy fartsy.
a little bit of that.
Don't
Such
say
a
that.
random.
But there are a lot of. I feel like in outer space, this tone has been visited many times.
Oh,
I mean,
Yeah.
that's all of the
Like,
space movies.
and
That's
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 a-
the formula.
Except again, I want to go back to the original
Alien.
Alien, which is such a great haunted
Alien.
house movie with such great. It's not like that.
And that's
you
why
don't
the-
sit there ever in Alien going, "This is so ethereal when I'm watching." No, it's a freaking monster
action
inside
movie.
And
an
that's what was such a
action
big.
film.
That's what was such
Cat
a
and
big
mouse.
deal. Yeah.
Blue collar.
Because I was gonna say this
Space
because I mean
truckers.
the influences of this movie were very. It was obviously until 2001.
For sure, for sure.
Solaris,
I don't know.
not the remake, and
But why not?
Like they had to do a remake.
Andrei Tarkovsky.
But
And
2001 for sure.
And I mean, I would say maybe a little bit. I don't know. There's some Event Horizon in there.
Oh my God.
Well, there's a little bit of Alien in there too, just in the
Oh,
sense that they're-
absolutely,
in the sense that
absolutely.
they're sort of trapped on this,
Yeah.
ship. So I'm gonna jump ahead because it's something that's been weighing on me, and I know you're gonna be able to explain it to me, Travis or Frank, and maybe even Sam probably.
All right, let me get a cup of coffee.
I
I'll
guess.
try.
But honestly,
Woman.
I was
Gross.
so confused. I actually had to look it up after the movie, and even this explanation did not answer my question. So, and maybe I fell asleep without knowing I fell asleep because I don't remember
Happens to
doing
the best
that.
of us.
I know what you're gonna ask.
The guy who ends up on the ship.
How did he get on the ship?
Well, not
Oh,
only
Mark?
I didn't even know who the hell he was.
Mark,
He was the
entire movie.
captain. He
He
was
was
the
the captain
captain.
of the first one.
Ostensibly, they're saying ostensibly. So they're not ostensibly. They're not even saying that's for sure. They're just guessing. It's Pinebacker, the
It is.
captain
It is
of
Pinebacker.
Icarus.
It's not. No,
who
it's
appears to have had a religious experience, which I didn't see, with the sun, which I didn't
Did you
see.
watch this movie?
When
went
does he
on-
have? When did he
He
have this
went on
religious
a
experience?
rant. He went on a rant
He-
about how God
clearly I
talked
wasn't
On a
to
around.
him.
rampage.
Following
A
this, he becomes
rampage.
insane or
Yes.
enlightened
Uh-huh.
and sabotages the original Icarus. Right? One. When did he sabotage the
He
Icarus
destroyed
one?
he destroyed the docking.
He's the one that, he
Killing
he
everyone
undocked
inside
it.
directly or indirectly.
Do you remember
What
in
the
that?
hell? Was I
in
asleep
that,
for an hour?
Yes. Do you remember that sunroom
Because I
where
don't
like?
know any of this.
Do you remember that sunroom in the Icarus one when like all of those people were just sitting there, but they're like ash, pretty much?
Yes.
So he's part of that, but like for some odd reason he survived.
Okay.
We're not even gonna
Well,
go there.
This doesn't
I
really
think
help
he-
me.
I
But he
think-
also he feels like he talked to God, and I think he said that his mission was to make sure everybody goes to heaven,
Yeah.
right?
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
that's the whole. I think, and
Pretty much.
I think he ended up killing everyone on the ship with the sunlight.
I think so because it
But
was
I think it
unfiltered.
was more. He had a like I
Wait,
said,
on the original Icarus.
Yeah.
yeah.
And then he somehow got off and got onto our ship
Well, because
Yeah.
they had
Yeah.
the
as
docking.
the captain of our.
yeah.
How did that happen?
Because remember
when the
the
ships
part
were docked.
when
no,
they
no. But he was there from the beginning of the movie.
No, he wasn't.
No,
he
he
got
wasn't.
it. He got on.
No.
He got on there
Whoa,
when
I'm
they
so
docked.
confused.
Do you remember? Okay, so Mark Strong.
I'm so confused.
Remember when they were talking about
Oh.
Icarus 1?
Yeah.
And then they did like a video
The
message
video
of him.
diary.
That's him on Icarus 1. But
We're
he
not
wasn't
talking about the same character. I think I'm.
I think
talking
he's
about.
talking about Captain. The
I'm
captain
talking about
of
the captain of our ship.
Yeah, no, he's dead.
That's who I thought you were talking about.
No.
So
Harvey?
where did I meet
No, the
this
other one.
guy? When did I meet this guy? Who
Captain
ended
of our
up
ship.
on our ship? No,
did not.
Captain of our ship
The first captain.
freezes to death out in
Captain
outer
of
space.
Icarus 1.
Right. When did we meet that guy?
In the video message in the beginning.
Remember when they're talking
Yeah.
about the Icarus disaster? They get the signal and they're like,
Right.
"Oh, it must
Yeah.
be." He was the captain
right.
guy that was
okay.
talking.
So how did he get back on?
Because when they docked, when they got to Icarus, the
Did you
ship-
see that happen?
No, it was later
You see
revealed.
the ship's dock, and
No,
then-
I know. I saw that.
No, you
Do
don't,
you-
because that's part of the mystery of how did the
How did he?
Do you remember
No.
when they thought that Trey did it?
Yes.
So
Wow. I feel like I'm being talked to like a first grader.
I'm sorry.
Do
so-
you remember
Do you remember?
when Daddy brought you home from the hospital?
This is how I talk, man. But yeah, so then
He said
I
straight
don't.
into the
They thought
trash, and I
they-
said
I
no.
hate to think I have to watch this movie
I
again
think
because
you
I
fell
do not
asleep.
want to watch
I
this
think
movie
you fell
again.
asleep. It's fine. You don't have to watch it again. But they thought it was one guy.
I
it's
missed
not.
a very crucial thing though.
Yeah.
If I did fall asleep for
You sure
5
did.
minutes, I missed a major because I watched this movie going, "Who the fuck is that guy?"
It's Mark Strong.
That's what they were trying
Kingsman.
to figure
I love Mark Strong.
out.
He doesn't age.
He
looks
doesn't.
the same.
He doesn't.
Good for him.
I agree.
So I'm just gonna say it. Like, what did we think of that?
I can't really even.
No.
I can't even test. I can't even like give a
Dan.
score for this movie because I missed an entire
What did
section.
All right, let's watch this right
in
now.
general,
Hell no.
What did we
Right the
think?
fuck now.
What did we think of the third act genre shift?
I personally like it because I don't like sci-fi. So when Mark Strong got introduced or whatnot, I was like, "Oh, this is cool." I wish there was more of that story so we can understand a little bit. But I like.
I wish I'd been awake for it.
That
I
too.
liked it. You don't have to like it, but
I like it.
So you say genre shift because it became
Like a slasher.
versus it before that being a.
Just sci-fi rescue.
Thriller. Well, I'm just saying it introduced
Yeah,
that
I would agree.
slasher element where it was like, oh, there's like, they're being picked off one by one.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Frank,
You know,
did you like the
I
shift?
guess for
I
me when
do,
I was good.
Actually.
I guess for me when I was watching the movie, when they hooked up with the old Icarus or the whatever the ship was.
You were asleep at that part.
Docking.
No, I docked all that. I was awake for all that.
He was
Again,
awake for the
I
docking.
must have slept
He docked the
literally
shit
for
out of
like
that.
one really critical minute.
Yeah.
But when they hooked up with that, I guess in my mind I was like, well, okay, something better happened now.
Something did.
I'm assuming
And then
that
you
we are
knocked
now
out.
going to go into a ship that bad crap's going to happen.
They hooked up with the Event Horizon.
And yet we're still trying to get to save the sun. There's a
Yeah.
lot going on in this movie. A lot of layers.
It's a
lot.
lot.
A lot of story layers.
Yeah.
Going
A
on.
lot of skin
Kinda
layers.
get
A lot
off,
of side
kinda
quests.
get off. And
Right.
oh, then we throw some shit into the sun and all of a sudden we have a sun again. I don't know what
It's
that even
they're,
is.
And
cause
I
they're,
don't even get
they're,
it.
why.
Because
Don't
what
even
they're
know what that
doing is
was.
they're essentially recreating the Big
Yeah,
Bang.
yeah, whatever.
Um,
Again, that's sci-fi. We're just making up crap.
You know what I like though?
Because that scientifically is not a proven idea.
And they say that in the movie.
I know.
Yeah,
So
Dan, you
that
fucking
doesn't make it
bitch.
okay.
Your favorite
That
word's
doesn't make
bitch
it
right
right.
now.
I think you're picking a little too hard. I mean, there's a
I
lot.
don't think I'm picking
there's
too hard
a
at
lot
all.
more that happens, like the drama in the than I mean,
Then the facts
yeah.
that
Yeah,
you are defending.
Dan.
So Dan, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna get a bunch of high schoolers. We're gonna throw them on an island. They're all right.
Yeah.
You
I
sick
think
man.
I think you're right in one sense. I really did get very
Confused?
not confused. Well, I was confused, but I got really
Titillated.
really sat hard on the scientific
God
idea
damn.
of this
Alright.
movie. It
Which is
really,
interesting
it
to
really
me.
bothered me.
Yeah, why? Of
I
all
don't
of everything
know.
we've watched.
I don't know why.
Because this
Especially
movie,
Event Horizon.
because I will say
there
this,
must have things in this movie that I don't buy it. I'm
because
not
this
buying it.
movie's not trying to sell you on the science by any means.
But even
No, you're right, and so I feel bad that I really sat down on the science. Like I know science. You could have said anything to me, and I would have gone. I don't know if that's true or not. But it bothered me in this movie.
Do you think it's because there were 3 more Asians than usual?
shut the
Oh
fuck
my
up.
god.
No,
Don't answer that.
I think it's because Chris Evans was in it. Honestly,
Yeah. Yeah.
Chris Evans threw me off, especially because I didn't know
That
it was him at
wig.
first. And it's when he pulls
Yeah.
the wig off, I went, oh,
He
it's
looked
Captain
pretty
America.
good when he cut that wig on.
He looked really, it was Fantastic Four.
Mm-hmm. Huh?
What? Okay, wait. What I was trying to say is when Icarus 2 crew were going onto the Icarus 1, I liked how they kind of did the cuts with the photograph. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah, you can see
That
the
one was
captain.
cool,
you
yeah.
can see the captain.
Yeah, that was cool.
It
Yeah.
scared the shit out of me because I forgot that they did that.
Yeah.
So at first I was like, wait, because it took a while from the first cut to do another cut with the photos. So
Yeah.
I'm like, wait, something's wrong with this version of this film that I'm watching. And it scared me a little bit because, again, it took
Right?
a while.
And it was a smiling face, the first
Yeah.
one, too. So it was like,
Right.
Okay, let me comment on that.
Okay.
You said you were scared for a moment.
Yeah.
I wasn't even slightly
You were asleep.
ever.
I don't think
For a second was I edgy,
because
uncomfortable,
you're still trying to
or
figure out why.
slightly nervous about
you
I
were
think you're
anything that
just-
happened in that
'Cause
movie.
You
were
were stuck on the
confused.
facts.
No.
Yeah.
You were edging.
But it wasn't scary.
Ew.
It wasn't scary to
Ew.
me at all. Like 0. On a 1 to 10, it was 0 scary.
Okay,
When
so
they-
Like I
planning on-
never for a second went, "Oh my God, what's going to
You
happen
need to get
now?"
sick again.
I thought it was just.
can you mute your
I think it
phone?
was-
Can you
I-
silence your phone, please?
I didn't think it was boring at all.
When
I wasn't bored, but I was never scared. I was never
Okay.
worried about what was going to happen. I'm waiting for it to go off again because it's
What-
bothering him.
What I really liked about the whole like genre switch is I really like the way it was presented.
Mm-hmm.
When Cillian Murphy is talking and the ship's like, your guys aren't going to survive.
Oh,
It's
that
like,
was
what are
cool.
you talking
That was
about?
cool.
It's like, I detect 5 life
Like,
forms.
no, there's
yeah.
4.
I was like, there's 4 of us. That I thought was a really cool way to introduce, because then people start getting, like, it would have been different if they were there and then you kind of see people getting killed, but you don't really know what's happening. Then it explains it. I like how
You
somebody
learn in
then
real time.
presents that issue.
Yeah.
Then you're like, oh shit.
You know what's
I agree.
funny? Somebody asked me today,
That's so funny.
what bitch. Somebody asked me today what movie we were covering because she knew I was coming to the podcast. And shout out to Olivia. And I told her Sunshine. She's like, I've never heard of that before. What is it about? And I explained that to her, and she's like, you can spoil it. And I was like, okay, I'm not going to spoil it. But there's a certain point where, like, there's a confusion about how many people are on board. And I told her how the scene goes, and she's like, oh, that sounds interesting.
Yeah, it's great the way they
I think it's a really
Great.
I think it's a good
way
way.
they present.
of handling
I
that.
did like when you had the extra person on board.
I just said that.
You
I
son
didn't
of a
say the
gun.
word great, however. No, I thought
Bet
that
you
was cool.
thought
I
it.
even made a note of that. Like, oh, that's a cool twist.
He just
The
wanted
one,
to show
the one thing
The
you
movie
liked in
could
this
use
movie.
a cool twist every now and then.
a really strong, hearty twist.
And it was
So speaking about docking,
Yeah, speaking
Captain of Icarus 1, who somehow, during my 2.5 minute snooze,
Dan,
a lot of shit
You
happened.
missed
I'm
a
gonna
lot.
take-
A lot of stuff
Dan.
happened when I fell
Yeah.
asleep.
I'm gonna help you confuse.
And I feel bad, too.
I'm gonna help your
You
confusion.
Not
should.
bad
But
enough
you're
to
not
watch
gonna-
it
I was
again.
gonna say,
no
you're not gonna
way
watch
I'm
it.
watching it
I'm
again.
gonna help to relieve your confusion a little more.
Okay, thank you.
Docking.
help him relieve.
Dan, you understand why the ship was called Icarus, right?
More like the Dickerus.
Icarus.
Dickerus, am I
you
right?
understand that whole metaphor analogy with Icarus? Why they chose the name?
Why don't you tell our listeners?
I'm just being. I'm messing.
I don't get it. What are you trying to say, Travis?
I'm not going to.
Why don't you explain it to us, Travis?
What are you trying to do?
I was trying to make fun of him because he was like, I don't understand. So I was taking the most basic thing. I was like, you
Yeah.
understand why the ship was called Icarus, right?
Because the Greeks were
you
gay.
understand about the sun, right?
You know what the sun is?
Yes, I know what the sun is.
It's that thing that we're losing an hour of now every day.
It's that thing that you give
I know,
birth
that
to.
sucks. I hate this time of year.
I was at home, like I got home from work and I was getting ready to like go to the podcast and I thought I had missed it because it was dark outside already. I was like, it's only
know,
like
right?
5:30.
I thought I was late for work on Sunday because it was light out, and usually it's
Yeah.
dark when I go.
You know, like when Cillian Murphy and Rose.
Byrne, totally didn't realize she was. I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, that's Rose Byrne.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, when they were in that big ass part, whatever, with Pinback or what his name is, it gave me Hellraiser vibes.
Oh, when they were at the payload.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It almost that and like that movie Cube.
But also at this point, I have no clue what's happening. Like
so
none
what
whatsoever.
was happening at that part?
I don't need to know. It's
See,
fine.
that's fine. You don't have to understand. This guy doesn't understand basics.
Apparently not.
I'm telling you right now, Dan is fascinated that there's a candle right there.
And I'm okay with that. I'm okay not understanding the basics if this is
You know
the
what?
movie
Are
we're
you
using
I
as our
will
basics.
say this, Dan.
Sure,
That's a good idea to have.
okay.
You're fine, and you accept that you don't understand science. You understand you don't know, and you're willing to admit that.
Yeah, Dan, at least you can agree that you're an ignorant
It might
bitch.
be true. It might be true. I mean, if this is based on scientific
Dan,
facts, then you're probably
Dan,
right.
when you were a kid, people still thought the Earth was flat. We didn't have people hadn't been to the moon. People hadn't.
Okay, hang on. I suppose the next thing you're going to tell me is they found the Titanic.
No, but that's funny.
Because
told you about the
because
Titanic?
the world is flat.
Hey, wait, Dan.
Prove it isn't.
Man,
Dan, you know they made a-
Have you gone around the world on a ship?
Around the world? Have I gone around?
Uh-oh. I got caught.
Final thoughts, whatever.
So yes, I did like that shift. However, up until that point, was it at all kind of like slow moving to you guys?
I'm not going to comment because this guy to my left just thinks this is a genius film.
I never said that.
Well, you've been defending the hell
But he
out of
thought-
it.
I'm just talking about things that happened.
You
that
really
said
liked
didn't
this
happen.
movie. I guarantee it.
I don't think it was slow. I think it was more
I
like
wasn't. Yeah, I agree. I didn't think it was slow.
it was like I mean, I feel like all the decisions that were made had a good backup. Like, no, we have to go to this
Right.
Icarus 1 now because we've wasted whatever. So I'm okay. Understandable. You're forced to go there.
Right.
But, like...
Yeah, I agree.
But, like Frank had mentioned, I'm not into sci-fi, so I'm just like, okay.
So you're like, whatever. Take
Yeah,
your
I'm
clothes
not
off.
really caring much about the accuracy of it all. I'm like, okay, what's next? Like,
Wow.
can we move on?
I wish I could have been like you.
Yeah,
Because scientifically, I just couldn't get on board.
I know,
But
scientists.
I wasn't bored, oddly enough.
Because I think you're
wasn't bored
fighting
because,
with yourself.
But I also think, what?
You're fighting with yourself, like, how is this real? Or, like, how is this...
Well, but also
probable.
I found that the decision-making process of the movie, I'm not talking about the science of the movie, I'm talking about the human element of the story.
Right.
With the characters, the decisions they had to make, the things they were faced with. I found those very, very interesting and relevant to a really cool story.
That guy.
Take
agree.
me out of science. Just get
Yeah.
rid of the science. I was very bothered by the science of the movie, but not by the human
Yeah.
element of the movie. I thought that was really very compelling.
I think it was kind of sucky having, like, Cillian Murphy be the one sole person to make that decision.
Well,
if
'cause
they
they-
should... I know, because of the physicist, but, like, at the same time, it's like, right, like you said, the human thing.
Right.
That's a lot riding on you, and I would buckle under that.
And that's
And him.
I agree.
And he did too, and that's the whole.
Hey.
Well, and I'm saying, and that's the whole thing too. Like even like Rose Byrne's character when they were like, "Hey, we all have to like agree to kill Trey,"
Yeah.
and she's like,
Don't
not
involve
doing
me.
it.
"I'm not doing that."
I'm not voting. Yeah.
Like,
and then he
e-
just stands up and goes, well, we're doing it anyway.
Right.
Even though
Is
we all
everyone
said we had to
else-
agree.
Yeah.
Why do I know Rose Burns? Please help me.
She's been in a. Did
I
you
know,
see
but
the
you-
movie
Yes.
Spy
No.
with Melissa McCarthy?
Bridesmaids.
Oh, I did see Spy. Yes.
Yeah, she was the villain.
But what else?
Bridesmaids. She was the sister-in-law.
Bridesmaids.
Yeah. I think that was the biggest thing she's done.
I
or
really,
that, like,
I really thought she was really good in this movie.
yeah, I agree.
I thought everybody
Yeah.
maybe, and
Yeah.
this was not against Chris
Yes.
Evans at all. I don't have nothing against Chris Evans.
Mhm.
I just found it distracting.
He was up against a lot of, like,
And his character was a little one note.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think that's more the problem than anything else.
he was definitely the
Because I
militant.
really liked him in Knives Out.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's the
Yeah.
thing,
Great in
and
Knives
I
Out.
feel like in this movie he was just like
I think
his character was ends justify the means. Like,
Yeah.
Exactly.
that's all he was.
Yeah.
Exactly. There wasn't a much.
Like
there
for
wasn't
me, I was-
much
yeah,
character
for
to
me,
his character.
Like I almost wouldn't have been. I wouldn't have been shocked if like a reveal at the like when they were all in the scene you didn't like where they had to launch across. If he was like, "It's okay, I can go across," and you find out he's actually like an android, you know, I'd have been like, that wouldn't surprise me.
Actually, I wish that had been true. Then I would have believed what happened.
That's what I'm saying. Well, that or just be like, because like I said, other than that, is so like wooden.
Yeah.
Not much going.
Who was the actor who played the captain who froze out in outer space? I recognized
No,
him.
Oh,
I don't.
I did. Must be some TV or something.
he was in a Leeds mattress commercial that ran in 2000.
Wait, I did that with him. Now I know him. I don't know why he looks so familiar to me. Anyway, so what else?
Canada, right? No.
No.
No, that's
Harvey.
that. Yeah, Harvey. That's the one.
Canada's the guy that died with the plates when they were
Yeah.
adjusting them.
Right. But he was the captain. He was the first captain.
He was the first captain.
Right.
Yeah, and then it. Oh, okay.
Oh, fine.
What happened?
He was
Captain.
making it
Oh,
funny.
oh.
He was making it funny. It's so hilarious.
Yeah, he was only on TV shows, honestly.
Yeah.
He was in
was okay.
like Law and Order, Boss,
I thought the cast was fine.
Ballers.
I honestly enjoyed it. I mean, I love what's her name. She's great.
Rose Byrne, Michelle Yeoh.
Michelle, yeah, I love her.
That
so
garden
much.
scene was sad.
And she looks so much.
Oh yeah.
2007. Oh, I know that garden scene. 2007. So it's 17 years ago. She looks the same, man.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, she hasn't aged at all.
It's
I mean, she's aged, but she still looks pretty much the same.
Asian, not raisin.
is that really a
I don't
thing?
know how it
Okay,
goes, but it's something
I want
like
to
that.
start by saying I didn't say
Again,
that.
I'm
I
Asian.
didn't infer that.
Again, she is.
I didn't suggest that. But you're right.
Oh,
No, I was like, as soon as I saw her, I went, oh,
Yeah.
I mean, it was like,
Why not?
sometimes you see people like 15 years ago, I know that person.
Yeah.
Who is it? No, she looks exactly the same to me. So she has aged very well. I love
agree.
her. She's a wonderful actress.
That guy in the beginning, Searle.
Oh yeah, Cliff Curtis.
Yeah, he looks familiar. I don't know.
Wait, which character?
The one that got left behind in Icarus 1.
He's been in a lot of things. The thing that you might recognize
no, he
him
works all the time.
recently
He
from
was-
is he was in Doctor Sleep.
Oh.
He also plays like FBI guys
Yeah, that bad
and CIA
cop
guys
kind of guy. That tough dude.
and like action movies
chiseled.
and stuff. He shows up in those kind of movies.
He's in Training Day. He was in
yeah.
Collateral Damage.
Yeah, he's in-
Wait,
he was
I
in
just
Training
watched
Day.
Collateral.
He's
Who
in
was
the
he?
Some pizza, roast beef.
He was in the Meg and the Meg 2.
Dominoes,
He was in Avatar.
Arby's.
All right.
Yeah, no, he's
I
in,
wrote
He's
that
in a bunch of those kind of movies.
I wrote that he like gets off by just being in the sunlight.
He does.
Yeah. 'Cause
He's
when you-
having
when
his
you're
own
first-
religious
yeah, 'cause when
experience.
Kind of
you're
like
first-
Icarus. Just kidding.
What?
They kind of
Get it?
set, but I thought they kind of set him up like he was going to be a more important character than he ended up being.
I think he was.
Like at the beginning of the movie, I feel like, oh, he's
Captain. I
kind
thought
of
he
a-
was captain
He's
for
kind
a
of
second.
our guy.
Yeah.
No,
Nah.
we got rid of him.
You know what? You know
Quick.
what it is? And I was watching. I was kind of like, because I've seen the movie before, so I know his like character arc, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But this time I was trying to. I was paying a little more attention to his character because I knew where he was going, and I kind of realized he was like another. Like he was kind of like a clue to the whole Pinbacker situation.
That makes sense.
Because much like Pinbacker eventually, and like
I see what you mean.
if you know, like, it's pretty clear that Pinbacker was like exposing himself to the sun
Mm-hmm. A lot.
a lot for years,
Mm-hmm.
and that's why he's all like gross.
That's why I thought it was him until I read about it
I
afterwards.
see.
I
There
thought it
you
was
go.
actually him
Mm.
who was back in their ship.
Oh.
And I
So
was
you were like, that's why you were like, how did he get back?
yeah, that's why I was
Sequel.
like, how did he get back on the ship?
Dad, you need to
Sequel,
write the sequel now.
feminism.
Yeah, my sequel will be a musical.
Oh God.
But yeah, I think
Opera.
Oh no.
it kind of connected the
Gaga.
dots a little better this time, like paying attention and catching that. Because I mean, Pinbacker doesn't really show up until really close to the end,
No.
and it's almost like, you know,
The last like 30 minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
Act 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
I
whole
mean,
act. No.
ostensibly, I mean, it's not totally, but it's.
Yeah.
I call it Act 3.
A good 95% of it.
I mean,
for sure.
where do you think Act 3 starts? I think it starts before he shows up, doesn't it? I would have to look back at the movie again because I didn't really look at it
I always
structurally.
say
I think it starts where they find Trey's body.
Mm.
Yeah,
I can
because
see that.
I really didn't. Usually, when I watch these movies, I kind of break them down by act, but this movie I didn't do that with. I am sure it's very clean. I just didn't do it. So, final
No.
thoughts?
I'm down for final thoughts. I'm down.
I'll go first.
Oh boy.
Or not.
No,
Go
go
ahead.
ahead.
Someone
Go
else
ahead.
go.
No, go.
No, I think it would be better if you go.
Can I ask
Away.
a question before we do
First.
that, though?
Yeah.
Because I don't want to make this part of my final thoughts. I'd rather just pose it
You're
as
the
a
one who
question.
suggested the final thoughts, but okay.
I don't want to make this a part of my final thoughts. I just
But
want
you will.
to ask a question to see what. Did this movie feel like a lot of other movies? Like
Yes.
a combination of many other movies?
Little
Well,
did
for
you know.
For me, it was more of like I could see other later movies taking somewhat quote unquote inspirations from it. For me.
Okay.
Yeah. Clearly.
Maybe. I mean,
Clearly.
that's possible,
Clearly.
I guess.
Like for me, like Interstellar, the part when he was talking, he was doing a video message. That felt like very
Oh, yeah.
Interstellar for me.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
Right.
Yeoh in
He
the
took
garden.
the full hour.
Yeah. Yeoh in the garden felt very Martian to me.
Yeah.
Well, The Martian was also a book.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Hey.
I found the
Asian,
Martian.
not raisin.
Hayes for horses.
Okay, so who wants to go first? I just threw that out there because that was something that kind of kept hitting me as I was watching the movie. I was constantly reminded of other movies.
But then what other movies were you reminded of then?
I think most of the ones we've talked about, 2001, Alien, Martian, I think is a great grab. I don't remember enough about Interstellar to remember whether it was bad or not. Remind me, what was Interstellar about? Even.
Space.
Yeah.
They're looking for another
Wormhole.
Earth because like
Oh.
there's basically Earth is a big dust bowl now and they can't grow the crops.
Gotcha. So who's going first?
You are
No,
not.
Travis, go.
Okay.
I mean, I can.
So Dan,
but
I'm gonna say you were like
more entertaining if I
Dan.
get last.
I was gonna say you're kind of like half right about what you said about my assessment with the movie. The first time I saw this movie, I didn't like it.
Oh no!
Um,
I
But by the fifth view-
rather you went the other way. And went,
Yeah.
The first time I saw it, I loved it.
no,
And then I saw it again as a mature person.
no. It was I didn't care for it. I think a lot of it.
Well,
I
maybe
mean-
that's why I didn't like it. Why didn't you like it the first time you saw it?
I think I just found it kind of boring. I wasn't as critical with the science review, but I just thought, for me, I was like, I feel like I liked some elements of it, like the drama, but I felt like the other parts, like you said, could have been better. And for me, like I said, I felt like the whole movie was just like, all right. I felt like every scene was, hey, everyone, someone's not going to make it. Someone has to go. And then it kind of threw me off was the whole, like, third act, like, slasher. And like I said, while I didn't mind it.
Yeah, it's introducing a creature in the third
Yeah,
act.
a part of me was just
basically.
like, did they do this because they kind of, like, didn't really know
Ran out of story
how
ideas.
to end it, like story ideas. I feel like this time around, I did enjoy it a little more. I especially liked the human drama a lot more. And like I said, I feel like, but all of that, it could have taken place in a different movie. It didn't. It could be anywhere. I didn't feel like it was exclusive to. Oh yeah, no. This whole human drama can only be in the movie Sunshine.
No, you
I
could have
fe-
put this in a
coulda-
cabin. You could have
no,
put this in a ship
that's
out
what
in the
I'm
middle of
saying.
the ocean. You could have put this story anywhere.
And it kind of, it's the same. It's like the whole like thing. I think that's why I kind of like those interactions, like the movie The Thing, you know, where it's not exactly the same thing, but it's like, you know, it's just a bunch of human drama. But no, I feel like
Except the thing,
yeah.
I think, was more true to its
Don't say it's more real.
genre.
It's more believable.
No, not at all. It's true to its genre, though. It's,
Yeah.
World building
it's a
makes
creature
sense.
from the
Yeah.
beginning.
Yeah.
They're fighting
Yeah.
a monster from the beginning, not just in Act
It was
3.
consistent.
Oh yeah, the first scene of the movie is like the pilot shooting
With the
the guy
dog.
with the dog.
Yeah.
But
So, yeah.
before though, I'm gonna like pause my thoughts for a second.
I love the thing, by the way.
What did everyone think of the soundtrack for the movie?
I don't remember it.
Because I will
was
say
fine with it.
that main theme
Yeah.
has been used in so many trailers,
Oh, other
a
movies?
few different movies.
How
like
interesting.
the main theme was used in the trailer for X-Men: Days of Future Past.
Girl, if I remember that.
No, I'm saying,
Girl.
but it was also used in it's in the movie Kick-Ass.
Yeah,
Which-
they used it as a
as a
temp
temp
score,
track, as a
and they
temp-
liked it
Wow.
so much
Yeah.
they were like,
They
"Let's
kept
keep it."
it.
It was the scene at the end with Hit Girl and Big Daddy
Yeah.
with the strobe light.
R.I.P.
Yeah.
Rip.
Yeah, but no, like I said, I was gonna say I was trying to think like the score. Like I said, I enjoyed it. I feel like the second time more. I will give it I'll give it a 3 point. I'd probably give it like a 3.4
Mm-hmm.
votes to kill Trey
Damn.
out of
Good job,
out of
Travis.
5. Yeah.
Good job. That's a really good. That's good rap. I like
Thank
what
you. Like the wrap they used for the ship, right?
the aluminum foil they wrap
You were
themselves
doing
in.
well.
You know what? I'm gonna quit while I'm ahead. I'm gonna stop
Until-
talking for the rest
Yeah,
of this podcast.
just go home now.
Yeah, go home, Roger.
I'll go.
Okay.
Go.
Thank you. So since the genre isn't something I'd go for, I knew from the get-go that I wouldn't be interested. But then I was quite impressed with how it looked, so that kept me entertained. I was just more like, oh, this shot looks good. Oh, I wonder how they did that. So that kept me going. Alex Garland is a great writer. I think this one wasn't his best work, but I feel like it was something that he built on for his future projects, and you kind of see inspirations from like his later work. So it was nice to see where he started.
What are some of his other works? Just help me out.
Annihilation.
Civil War.
I really like that movie.
Yeah. So you can see the dread.
Yeah.
It started from there for sure, but he definitely built on that.
He did Men, Ex Machina.
Yeah.
He did Dread, and then there's like there's rumors that he ghost directed Dread as well, but
that didn't do well.
they're unconfirmed.
I think.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. I personally like the Switch because again, I think I was more interested in the quote unquote horror aspect. I wish they built more background with Pinbacker because I would be more interested to see how that came about. And I think having him just jump on the ship quite easily
Apparently
and let it slip
30
by.
seconds when I'm sleeping.
Yeah, it just kind of that could have been done a lot better. And I think that's it. Like, I'll give it 3.2 frozen. No, 3.2 floating Harveys out of 5.
Nice. You know what I thought was a great little detail?
Nothing like a good floating Harvey.
When Harvey's floating.
I have those every Friday night for my.
Yeah, it's because you need to stop eating Taco Bell.
Ew.
When Harvey.
Floating Friday.
Yeah. When Harvey's floating. This is gonna sound funny then. When Harvey's floating in space, and then he just.
That'd be funnier than that.
And then his arm hits the ship, and then the blood just splatters out.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's funny.
No, I was saying because
That
like
was hilarious.
I was gonna say like when you eat Taco
Get a
Bell.
sixth
I was
sense
gonna
of
say
humor.
I was gonna say like when you eat Taco Bell, it just
Diarrhea.
splatters out.
Talking about explosive bloody diarrhea.
Hey,
All right, Frank.
Wicked games.
Listen up, y'all. This is a blue collar review.
No, it's
Oh, I am all ears.
go in the den and start talking. And
I like this movie.
Do we have to like this movie?
No.
Yes, you do.
keep in mind, no one has any idea what you're talking about.
No, they do. They sure do.
I like Danny Boyle's work and I like Alex Garland's work. So at the time, I remember this being like the best movie ever. I was like, oh my God, this is so cool. Like, as time has gone on and with this rewatch, I was like, it's okay. It's not bad. And I like a lot of the ideas and the visuals that they come up with. I especially like how they have this like wave of diffusion around Pinbacker. So whenever he's in like a shot, like it's really blurry around him, so you can't really see him. It gets really like metaphysical and like artsy with it, but I'm okay with it because it doesn't go overboard. The music is good. I think that it doesn't suffer from technobabble, which I really like. But honestly, there's not really much I can say because it's like after watching it, I was like, yeah, this is just okay. Like, it's good, I think. It's not great. But I would definitely still suggest it to people that like sci-fi as like, hey, yeah, watch it. It's good. Yeah, I think it's better in my memory than it is rewatching.
It's Frank's Anzio.
So
I've told you that story.
I'm gonna have to give it 3.5.
That's pretty good for a movie that's okay.
Well, I mean, I think middle of the road is in terms of like, I mean, it's a little above middle of the road, but
Wait, what's your
Yeah.
item?
He's thinking.
3.5. There are 5 passengers on board out of 5.
I love that.
Frank, I don't know if you knew too. You know, after Danny Boyle did this movie, he said he would never do another sci-fi movie again.
Another space movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, another. He's like, yeah, it's like there's
Too much.
Too much
because
space.
apparently, like,
much space.
they just film, which I was like, no way, Focus Features
Yeah.
distribute it. Because apparently, I guess they went to Fox originally. Fox
I
was
thought it was
like
20th.
20th Century. Yeah, they went to 20th Century and they were like, we're not gonna give you that one.
Mm.
Which was like 40 million because it was after the remake of Solaris. And
But
that's what-
even like back in 2007, I think it was 43 million. That's a pretty good budget for
Yeah.
2007.
no,
right?
it is.
Am I
because
wrong?
I
Pretty big.
think
That
they
seems pretty decent.
I think Focus Features gave them money, but I think they in the UK or something they got more backers for it. But I think it was like, but just
What's
the harbor.
happening? Wait, hold on.
So essentially, like the movie, I think they filmed it in 3 months. They wrote it. They spent 1 year writing it, 3 months effects, and then a year to edit the entire
Okay.
movie. No, I was just saying, yeah, all the work. It was like I said, they spent after the movie, like they wrote it. Took them a year to write the movie. 3 months to film it, and then a year to edit and do the visual effects in the movie. And then just everything exhausted is like, yeah, I'm not going to do another one of those.
before your final thought,
Mm-hmm.
what I do like though was that like it was low budget and they were creative enough to go around that, and then like didn't really do much of CGI. They made sure things were done physically and things like that, and it shows, but it worked.
Yeah, it's weird. It's a space movie that doesn't have a lot of like your typical big space VFX.
Yeah.
It's really toned.
Just the ships. That's it.
Yeah, but that's some. But yeah, there's
That's it.
But yeah,
But yeah.
yeah.
for sure.
Well, you're all wrong. No,
Listen
We
here,
know you didn't like
bitch.
this movie.
I don't disagree with anything anybody said.
As you should.
I agree with Frank probably the most. It's okay. It was okay. I wasn't bored. I wish I hadn't fallen asleep, apparently, at a
2
very
seconds.
critical moment of the movie, which would have explained a lot to me. I think what made it work for me was, again, what I said earlier, what we've been talking about. It's just that human element of just like survival. And I don't think I'd ever seen a movie where it was just quite so blatantly, yeah, we got to get rid of 3 people.
Yeah.
No, we got to get rid of 4 people, actually. It was sort of, and there was such a, I don't want to say a matter of factness about it, but what made it kind of uncomfortable, or what I want to say, was there was kind of a, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, there was the great, what I thought was probably the best scene in the movie, where they're all sitting around the table voting, and she says, no, I'm not doing it. And then Chris Evans is like, well, we're doing it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Too bad.
And then, and then walking in and
Realistic.
seeing he'd already killed himself. I mean, there were some nice sequences in the movie. I agree. You could have set this storyline could have been set in any remote place where you can't basically escape without sacrifice.
Costco.
Costco was the top of my list, actually. But yeah, I mean, it was fine. It wasn't. I'm not big on outer space movies, although I do think the original Alien is a great film. I don't think of it as a space movie. I just think of it as another place you're trapped and there's a monster.
In space, no one can hear you scream.
I love that line.
Base, no one can hear you scream.
So, Frank, you were going to give it an average score, but then you gave it a 3.5.
I
An
think that
average
is
score out of
Wait,
5 is
5?
2.5, which is what I'm giving it. 2.5.
Damn.
That's average.
Mm-hmm.
That's an average score if 5's your best.
Would you like to reassess here?
Dan knows
But
about
I love
average.
my choice. Dusty human skin.
Wow.
you know,
I
Dun-
love that line.
80%.
Well, you know, 80% of skin. I wrote it down immediately. Really cool to see the cast, though. All those people that are now, I mean, so many of them who had great careers, are big, and they were just young, just making a movie. That always fascinates me, when somehow you cast that many people in one movie that actually end up being like really formidable actors in Hollywood. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
But I'm not sorry I saw it, and I think I agree with Frank. I would tell somebody if I thought they lined up with these kind of movies, I would say, yeah, you should watch it.
I think.
I don't think it's a bad movie. I just don't connect with that movie
Yeah.
that much.
No, I agree with
It's
you.
really nothing to do with whether
Yeah.
it's good or bad. And
I
I'm
think-
making fun of Travis, as I love to do. I totally get why you like it. I totally get it.
Okay, thank you. I think that no, this one. No, I will agree with you, Dan. That's why I like doing this podcast too, because it's not like
Oh,
let's
sorry,
all
I'll take
agree
that
with
back.
each other. Let's all agree.
No, because that's a stupid podcast.
Yeah. But I will say though, I think I'm at the point now. If someone was like, if I'm like, hey, you want to see a Chris Evans movie that like you'd probably never heard of? I was like, go watch Snowpiercer.
Aw.
I think that's gonna be my new.
So this movie, just to review, it was a wildly unsuccessful movie. Yes,
I was gonna say because it was.
I mean not as unsuccessful as here,
I was gonna
which
say
made $5 million.
God.
because that's the
Then
thing.
what did it cost?
a
40?
lot.
But
How
he
much
was
did
like
it cost,
40,
Travis?
40 million.
No,
For here? I'll look.
Here it cost more than $40 million.
Yeah, with all the
The
friggin-
Zemeckis movie.
Oh,
I thought you
here.
were talking about here. Here was like 50.
Here,
That's
No, I think it was like
Ridiculous.
90 million or something.
that's all.
yeah.
And I hear that
Eh.
the aging process is awful in
You
it
Yeah,
can say-
budget is 45 to
Yeah.
50.
Yeah.
for
Hank-
this movie.
Yeah, for here.
Yeah, yeah. No,
Hank Hanks for nothing.
For here or for here?
For here.
What
The
here?
movie Here.
With Tom
With
Hanks.
Tom Hanks?
Yes.
It was only $50 million?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Well,
too.
from what I read in the reviews, they probably should have spent some more on the aging thing. I hear it.
Well,
does not look
I
good.
think that's where most of the budget went because it's like the whole thing was like probably one location, one set.
One location, one setup.
That's what I'm
It's
saying.
a play.
Camera doesn't move.
A play at best. Like,
That sounds horrifying.
Apparently,
Sounds
well, the
boring.
medium
Did you
was,
see it?
no.
Sam,
You should sneak in and watch it for a little
Nah.
I think the medium.
Just like 5 minutes.
I'm good.
How about no?
Sneak me in. I'll watch the movie.
All right.
Dan, I think the medium. I think the medium that it's
Alright.
based off of, I think is a way better medium to tell the story. It's based off a graphic novel.
I know. I read that. I was.
And I was like,
is
okay,
it
why
really
is
based off
what
a
is-
graphic
why
novel?
is it a graphic novel?
That sounds
I
like a
think
boring
because of the
graphic
frame,
novel.
because it's all in one location. So it's like, oh, that. Could
Why do I think when I think of graphic novel, I think of violence?
Battle Royale.
Graphic.
What does graphic novel mean?
graphic means it's like drawn out, like it's graphic.
Oh, that's all it is?
Yeah.
Graphs.
Hello.
Well, I said that publicly for the whole world to hear. I don't know why, because
You know-
most
you know
graphic
graphic
novels I feel like are like Lincoln Vampire Slayer. Or whatever. That's a graphic novel.
Oh yeah.
No, it wasn't. That's
Yes, it was.
was.
I
It was a
guarantee
book.
you
It was a book.
I thought it was based on a graphic novel.
No, it's a book.
No, but it wasn't a graphic novel.
No, it was a book that was also written by the same one who did Pride and Prejudice with zombies.
I tried reading
Which
that
is
book.
a classic.
I saw that movie in theaters.
Which one?
Oh,
The Lincoln one?
I saw both.
And it should have been so much better, right?
Yeah, it should have.
It should have actually been fun. And I heard it wasn't fun.
It was
It was kind of meh.
all right. Let's move
Meh.
on. What are we talking about
Meh.
next week?
Oh yeah, what are we watching? The
So we-
Substance.
No-
Honestly,
no more
part of
ar-
me wants to say
no-
that.
No more artsy fartsy movies, okay?
Oh,
let's,
Then the
Then the
Substance.
substance.
let's go into something a little more, mainstream.
The Substance.
Okay, so you have two choices.
Ooh, we're doing this again. Red pill, blue pill.
Well, I'm not choosing. Sam is.
There's two. There's this one, and there's this
And
one.
they're looking.
You look so Italian
Charge,
right
they're
now.
larger than charge.
Yeah.
Waving your hands. This a this a one and
This
a
one
this
and a
a
this
one.
one. So Dan, choose.
I don't want to.
Well, choose
last
your
time
vote.
I chose
vote.
one, and it was.
Hey,
I
Dan,
was,
you're the only one that's equipped
it was
to be able to do the math.
equipped with what?
Dan,
No, I was saying because of the movie.
How about this?
The movie we
Everyone's
just watched.
everyone's gonna vote. Left hand or right hand? Dan.
Okay.
Right hand.
Left.
I
Actually,
don't-
that's
I-
the right
what-
hand. That's the
hey,
left hand. Right hand.
What are
Left.
you? What are you asking?
One
me?
and
I
one.
can't. I
Just
can't. I
fucking
can't
vote, Travis.
Right
Travis.
hand, left hand. You're the one that throws it.
Tiebreaker. Which
You're
one?
the tiebreaker. Right
Point.
or
I'll
left?
go with that one.
Right
We're doing
hand.
28 days later, which is
Eh.
another Danny
I'm a-
Boyle / Alex
But
Garland
at least
film.
I know that film. I mean, I've
What was the
seen
other
it.
choice?
V for Vendetta.
Oh, yeah, I think 28 Days Later. is
I'm good with 28 Days Later. I've never seen it. I've always wanted to see it.
Cut to
Fascinating.
like an hour ago. You said you don't want to watch it.
Yeah.
What?
You said you
Liar.
didn't want to watch it. Like
28 Days Later?
yeah, in the beginning of the podcast, you said you don't want to watch it.
Yeah, Dan. He said he doesn't want to watch 28 Years.
He said no, he doesn't want to do either of those.
Oh yes. And Dan,
I don't know what 28 Days Later is actually about.
don't
do
watch
I?
it. Do not look it up.
It's got Cillian Murphy.
Yeah, Cillian Murphy.
No, hang on.
It's not the
I
Sandra
do
Bullock
know
movie.
this movie.
Yeah, it's like 2000.
You know, I do know this movie.
I own the out of.
I'm not going to look it up, but I'll bet if I saw
do?
one
I got it at
sentence, I would
Second
know what
Screen
this
for
movie
$8.
was. Why do I? Okay.
Don't confuse it with the Sandra Bullock. Yeah, don't get confused with the Sandra Bullock movie.
Wait, what was that about?
28 Days. She went to rehab.
No way, I'm not watching that.
This is a good time. Remember when you're like, oh, one of these days you're gonna watch the wrong movie. You're gonna watch 28 Days, and we're supposed to watch
I
28
should
days
just do
later.
that anyway.
Yeah.
And then I'll go, Sandra Bullock was great. And it's, why are you guys looking at me? All right, this has been fantastic. I mean, a rip-roaring,
Rip to roar.
award-winning podcast.
Okay.
We're going to be nominated for this one.
To get off the air.
Like us, share us. Run out in the middle of the street and scream our name out loud. We are Strangers in the Alps, a movie podcast. Join us next week.
Oh God.
My name's Dan.
Courtney. I mean Travis.
Sam.
I'm sick of it.
Frank.
And that's Frank. And we'll see y'all next
You're
week.
not doing that. Stop.
We are out.